The movie begins with a young boy who perceives vibrant hues and is greeted by an enigmatic voice proclaiming his victory in a contest. Abruptly, he awakens within surroundings resembling a morgue, his memory a blank slate. Attempts to depart lead to unsettling reactions from the staff, who appear frightened. Later, a concerned woman named Rudy approaches and expresses worry for him. Subsequently, the boy loses consciousness and regains awareness within a hospital chamber. He nurtures a desire to break free, prompting a dash down the corridor where medical personnel communicate with him in an unfamiliar manner. The elevator proves non-functional, compelling him to clamber out of a window. However, the rain causes him to slip, yet some inexplicable force prevents his fall. He stands upon the building's side as if it's ordinary. Remarkably, a window cleaner with a similar odd demeanor traverses the wall as well. The boy inquires about the reality of his situation, met with a confirming strike from the man to demonstrate its authenticity. This individual, known as the Guardian, discloses the boy's true nature as a soul. His memories have been wiped, and he's been transplanted into the body of a teenager named Min, granting him a second chance at life. The Guardian compels Min to grasp the window's edge. Reality shifts, and Min is compelled to enter. Upon returning to his bed, a nurse arrives, displaying roughness while administering an injection. Accidentally, Min knocks over a water bottle, only to witness the water freeze. This nurse, too, is the Guardian, capable of assuming any appearance. Referring to Min's current state as a homestay, the Guardian elucidates that it's temporary. Entrusting Min with an hourglass, the Guardian reveals its purpose: to measure the time Min has to unravel the reasons behind his past decisions. Failure to achieve clarity within 100 days will result in permanent demise, precluding rebirth. The Guardian warns Min to keep his true identity concealed from others. Upon daybreak, a physician visits Min, who averts suspicion by correctly identifying his name on a medication label. Given the green light to return home, Min discovers that Rudy is his mother. Inside his home, he learns of an older brother named Men, who harbors resentment towards Min's return. For the time being, Rudy arranges for Min to share sleeping quarters with Men, clad in men's attire until he acquires new clothes. Learning of this, Men elects to spend the night at a friend's place. Min endeavors to inquire of Rudy about the day he made a critical decision, yet she avoids the conversation. Min manages to locate his father, who appears preoccupied with a significant call related to his MLM venture, having abandoned his conventional employment. During the night, Min explores the house, finding no traces of his own pictures. His former room remains locked, and efforts to peer inside are thwarted by Men, who dismisses him. The following dawn, Min observes Men in possession of 2 computers. Subsequently, Men appropriates a set of keys from the living area and endeavors to unlock his own room, albeit fruitlessly. Min retraces his steps back to Men's room, then exits through the window, traverses the building's edge, and eventually arrives at his own window. Upon entering, he encounters an array of vacant furniture and a framed photograph from his own funeral, an experience that fills him with sorrow. The picture slips from his grasp as he notices the date of his supposed demise, prompting an involuntary sound. This noise captures Rudy's attention, leading her to spot Min. She questions his presence and implores an explanation, revealing that she has disposed of his belongings. Emotions heightened, Min identified a spot on the floor where blood had once been. Rudy breaks into tears, embracing Min and entreating him never to repeat his actions. The subsequent day, Min resumes his attendance at school, where his mother returns his wallet. Within, he uncovers a brooch in his mother's professional card. She's an engineer who frequently travels for work. Preferring to keep his ordeal private, Min informs his peers that he is down with the flu. School is not particularly challenging as Min's circle of friends is limited. Lee, Min's closest friend who harbored romantic feelings for him, remains his sole confidant. Min and Pai are active participants in the card stunt club. A reminder prompts Min to finalize a drawing intended for a competition. However, his focus wavers when he notices fellow students sporting identical brooches. Intrigued, he tails them and deduces that these insignias signify elite students. Eager to join their ranks, Min attempts to blend in, only to be identified by a vigilant teacher who promptly dismisses him. A rendezvous at the library is orchestrated by his study partner through a note. Here, Min encounters Pai, a striking girl for whom he nurtures an infatuation. Determined to transform his appearance, Min decides to utilize the funds his mother had left him to procure stylish attire and undergo a trendy haircut. As time progresses, Min enjoys Pai's company and experiences moments of delight. On a certain day, his father reminds him of an appointment with the school therapist and provides Min with promotional items. The therapist's inquiries about Min's adolescence become increasingly uncomfortable, culminating in his consumption of some of the provided products. In a revelation, Min recognizes this individual as the guardian and grasps the urgency to uncover vital clues. With a solitary opportunity to respond, Min faces the challenge, as success holds the power to halt an hourglass. In the ensuing days, a school festival ensues. Min discovers Pai in a state of distress following a test, and his empathetic gestures provide solace as they partake in festivities together. Pai astutely observes a positive transformation in Min's demeanor, noting his departure from melancholy. Eventually, their hands entwine, symbolizing a deepening connection between them. The following day, Min overhears his mother speaking on the phone. She discusses his father's decision to sell her wedding ring in order to invest in his MLM venture, which leaves her quite upset. To uplift her spirits, Min assists her in preparing some durians. Surprisingly, he consumes them without any aversion, a stark contrast to his previous dislike for the fruit. This unexpected change astonishes Rudy, who notes how much Min has transformed. Rudy takes the opportunity to share anecdotes from Min's childhood, revealing her unwavering care for him even during challenging times. Several days later, Min finds himself obligated to fulfill a dare he made to Pai after successfully passing his exams. Pai coats Min's hair with soap and challenges him to run 10 laps at a bridge, with her joining him in the endeavor. Upon completion, Pai presents Min with a homemade kaleidoscope as a birthday gift. She admits her fondness for this evolved version of Min, and their connection deepens with a shared kiss. At a later time, Min commences sketching a portrait of Pai at the bridge. While engaged in a club activity, he stumbles upon photographs in which he is inadvertently captured in the background near a locker. Intrigued, Min rushes to open the locker, only to find it empty. Lee observes this and informs Min that his laptop is now in her possession, accompanied by a note for his mother. Lee had visited Min's home, but as Rudy was absent, she entrusted the laptop to Min. Back at home, Min embarks on a quest to search Min's room. Although the laptop remains elusive, he unearths photos with his face deliberately defaced. Furthermore, he stumbles upon documents indicating Min's aspiration to study in Germany. Exploring Min's computer, Min discovers a conversation in which Min expresses resentment towards him, asserting that Min should be providing for the family instead of pursuing studies in Germany. Min confesses his disdain for Min and admits to concealing a farewell letter from their parents. Min deduces that the second computer Min had taken must be his own. Consequently, he ventures to Min's college in search of it. Min catches him and voices his belief that the family would be happier without Min. In a heated exchange, Min hurls the computer out of a window. Determinedly, Min retrieves the laptop and manages to power it on. The sole file contained within is the farewell letter, revealing Min's deep-seated emotions. Min had mixed medication with soda in an attempt to end his own life. During one evening, Min witnesses Pai's teacher behaving inappropriately with her. Fueled by anger, he confronts and physically assaults the teacher, subsequently whisking Pai away. Their confrontation becomes intense, with Min raising his voice. Pai discloses that enduring the teacher's behavior is a means to secure her chances at the Olympics, a pursuit she values above all else. Min grapples with the notion that Pai might not require his presence and contemplates ending their relationship. As a consequence of Min's actions, his father engages with the school principal, prompting Min to confront his father about the sale of the wedding ring. In an attempt to surprise his mother at her workplace, Min inadvertently uncovers her secret romantic involvement. Although Rudy attempts to explain, Min flees, overwhelmed with emotion. Back in his hometown, Min stands by the bridge in the rain, grappling with thoughts of ending his life. At this juncture, the Guardian materializes, inquiring about Min's decision. Min expresses his discontent with his current life and attributes blame to both his family and Pai. In response, the Guardian grants Min 3 days. Subsequently, Min returns home and vents his frustration by wrecking his room. A short while later, Lee arrives and requests to inspect the completed drawing. Min becomes noticeably irritated and responds to Lee with rudeness. He informs her that he never regarded her as a friend and has no romantic interest in her. He also confesses that he intentionally left her out of his farewell letter when he was absent from school as he was attempting to sever their connection. This revelation upsets Lee, prompting her to depart. Later in the evening, Min accompanies his father to pick up Rudy after her work shift concludes. She expresses fatigue and a desire to head home, whereas Min suggests they dine out together. He mentions visiting her workplace to evoke a sense of guilt. During their restaurant outing, Min leaves his parents at the table under the pretense of visiting the restroom. However, he discreetly observes them and witnesses his father returning a ring. Rather than being pleased, Rudy admits to having had an affair. This revelation leads to his father's departure, leaving Min alone with his mother in the car. Rudy apologizes and provides an explanation for her actions, indicating that she ended her relationship with her other boyfriend to prioritize her family. Min remains unconvinced by her apology and goes so far as to tell her he does not truly consider himself her son, emphasizing that her negligence led to her real son's death. An argument ensues, and in the midst of it, Rudy fails to notice an oncoming vehicle, resulting in a collision. Hours later, Min regains consciousness in the hospital. He checks on his still unconscious mother. Men arrives and discloses her critical condition. Men questions Min's decision to handle matters on his own rather than seeking help and implores him to reconsider his belief that he is unloved. Min's injuries are not severe, and he returns home. He discovers a dessert and a kaleidoscope left by Rudy. This prompts him to realize his own selfishness and leads him to reconcile with his club by completing the drawing. The following day, the Olympic team announced their participation in a major tournament. Pai, who was supposed to deliver a speech, feels guilty upon encountering Min. She flees and is found by Min in a classroom, contemplating self-harm with a glass cup. Min apologizes, expresses his earlier anger, and embraces her. He reassures Pai that the blame lies with the teacher and offers her solace. Pai's mood improves, and she informs the principal about the teacher's mistreatment. Due to time constraints, Min leaves his drawing along with a message for Pai. He then visits the card stunt club's practice session. Min apologizes to Lee, acknowledging her kindness toward him. Lee forgives him and discloses that she utilized one of his previous drawings. Unexpectedly, the team creates a drawing of Pai on the bridge, closely resembling Min's new design. A rush of memories floods Min's mind, showcasing the positive moments he shared with his family and Pai. Overwhelmed, he flees and suffers a fall down the stairs, causing an hourglass to fall from his pocket. Min reawakens in his room, and the Guardian assumes the form of his reflection. He realizes that he is the original Min, having perished due to his failure to appreciate the good aspects of life. The Guardian commends him for grasping this truth and explains that the test was designed to reveal it. Min is granted the opportunity to retain this life. As the Guardian vanishes, Min wakes up once again at school, with the hourglass no longer in his possession. Lee checks on him, and Min embraces her. He hurries to the hospital and finds Rudy awake. She and his father are pursuing a divorce, and Min is given the choice of which parent to live with. Rudy absolves him of any guilt should he choose his father, acknowledging her shortcomings as a mother. Min apologizes and pledges not to regret being her son. From that point on, he returns to his regular life. When Pai sends him a message about winning a medal, he fulfills his promise. He runs a few laps on the bridge with soap on his head and wearing only his underwear.